How's it going, everyone? We've got a massive PlayStation Store sale live right now. The Mega March sale with over 3,700 deals. Let's filter it by full games, game bundle, and premium editions, and that'll take it down to 2,596 deals. That'll eliminate some of the superfluous DLC and things of that nature. A lot of deals to go over. Obviously, not gonna go through all of them in this video, but let's have a quick rundown and see what is available. Right off the bat, EA Sports Madden 25. I don't know why sports games are always listed at like the top, but whatever. Yeah, Madden 25 is 14 bucks. You know, you can check that out if you want. Dynasty Warriors Origins, like I said in yesterday's video, I wasn't expecting a deep discount on this. It is 20% off for $56. I really enjoyed Dynasty Warriors Origins. I thought it was a great game. Even if you're not a gigantic Dynasty Warriors fan, this game is supposed to be very accessible to newcomers and whatnot. More of an emphasis on the narrative, and I thought the narrative was pretty good. Quite a lot of content, optional content, things like that. Replayability is definitely there for $56. Not a bad deal whatsoever. Make sure you just get the base game. The Digital Deluxe Edition, you know, they got people to buy it for the fake early access, but that isn't valid anymore, and yeah, it's not worth it at that price point. It's $69.29, way too expensive there. Diablo 4 is $27.49, excuse me, 45% off. EA Sports FC 25, $21. Silent Hill 2, 30% off for $49. That's another one of those deals that's just a little bit too expensive as far as its digital price point. That seems to be the case with a lot of Konami games. I'm curious what Metal Gear HD Collection, or, you know, Metal Gear Master Collection is priced at, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 is a great remake. $49 is just a bit pricey. EA Sports College Football 25 is $14. Yes, I meme on the sports games, but everybody that I've talked to that's played EA Sports College Football 25 has loved it. So, you know, if you're into it, 14 bucks seems like a good price on that. Gran Turismo 7, $29.39 on that for the PS5 version. You can get the PS4 version for $19.79. I wish that would get a little bit cheaper, the PS5 version in particular, but what can you do? Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is 30% off for $49. Fully expect that to hold up in price for quite a while, but it is a phenomenal game. One of those games that really accentuates what the PlayStation 5 Pro can do, and I think for a lot of people, it was one of the main reasons they picked up a PS5 Pro. You know, that was a game that was a great showcase. Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack is $70 if you want both titles. Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition is $30. That includes RE4 as well as the DLC, the Separate Ways DLC, I should say. That's a pretty good deal. RE4 is tremendous, as I've said many times. Metaphor ReFantazio, 25% off for $52.49. Obviously, a very hefty price, but Metaphor is awesome. Metaphor is an absolutely fantastic game. From a narrative standpoint, it's great. The day structure about, you know, doing activities very much structured like a Persona game, but it works well, and I very much prefer, you know, the fantasy setting over, you know, the high school setting. I'm just not crazy about that. Metaphor was so much more up my alley, and I loved how the story unfolded in this game, even though, you know, a lot of the plot twists you could see coming a mile away, but I don't like plot twists for the sake of, oh my god, we got plot twists. You should have a little bit of build-up. You should let the player be like, okay, I've been following and paying attention. I should be able to figure some things out that are coming in. I thought Metaphor did a really good job about executing that. Gameplay has a lot of depth to it as well with the different classes and whatnot. Just a fantastic game, and even though it's $52.49, it's a game that's going to give you tons and tons of hours of content, so for that price point, again, I still think it's a great buy. God of War Ragnarok, $29.39 on that. Go play God of War 2018 first, of course, but Ragnarok is a solid game. I did like 2018 better, but you know, a lot of people like Ragnarok. They're both really good games. Phasmophobia is 15 bucks. NHL 25, $21. Palworld is $22.49. We recently had the announcement of the cross-platform play update that will be coming by the end of this month, so pretty exciting stuff there. And Palworld's gonna have a big 2025 in general with a lot of content updates. Well, I would probably think one more notable content update is gonna come. I doubt that we're gonna get another content update as big as Faybreak, but it should be coming out of early access, I would imagine, by the end of this year. So more refinements to come. Hopefully, the biggest thing is that little lawsuit that they gotta get through. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is $17.49. That recently got added to Plus Extra, so you can play it that way. Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe is $6. UFC 5, $35. That's getting added to PS Plus Extra. I mean, from a value standpoint, Plus Extra adding UFC 5 is fairly notable. I think it's more so this $35 price tag for UFC 5 is outrageous. Like, when did UFC 5 come out? I want to say it was 2023, 2022? October of 2023. So, you know, it's a year and a half old, and for a sports game, I get the UFC games don't get yearly releases, but still, feel like that should be quite a bit cheaper. Life is Strange Double Exposure is $30, Street Fighter 6 is $30, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is $19.79, Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist is $18.74. That just came out, so that's actually a pretty decent deal there. Resident Evil Village is $16, Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition and Village Gold Edition. The combo pack is $29.59, not a bad deal there. Resident Evil 2 is $9.99, excellent game there. RE3, which is getting pulled from PS Plus Extra, is $9.99, or it just got pulled. It should be getting pulled from the service soon, I believe. I think on March 18th it's leaving the service. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide is $30. High on Life, $24 on that, just a little too pricey. A lot too pricey for High on Life. Really, if you can get High on Life for, like, you know, sub $15, I think it's a pretty good buy. It's a super short game. The writing is comical, and, you know, some people will end up really enjoying it. I just think that's a hefty price point. Doom Eternal Deluxe is $17.49. Doom Anthology is $28. Fallout 4, the base game, $7.99 on that. God of War 2018 is $9.99, so great pickup there. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is $35. Okay, at least we're getting it a little bit cheaper, but really, we saw Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I believe, down to, what was it, $20? I believe it was $20 or $25 during Black Friday. It'd be nice if we could get it around the 25 range, and that would be great, but it is what it is. Dead Island 2 is $19.99. You know, it's a solid game. I think for $20, it's actually a decent pickup. It is available on Plus Extra. Here we go. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, Volume 1, $42. So we still can't get this game into the 30s, but, you know what, $42. It's MGS 1, 2, and 3. The games are great, but this price point is just outrageous, man. We saw it for $19 on Amazon not too long ago, and here it is for $42. That's absolute insanity, and yeah, these people need to be stopped with these digital game prices at times, but it is what it is. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, on the other hand, 50% off for $30. That's an excellent deal on, you know, a game that at this point is a little bit forgotten about as far as 2024's game releases, but man, I really enjoyed Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, even though from a narrative standpoint, comes across a little bit disjointed if you're not familiar with Grand Blue, but yeah, I still had a great time with it. Gameplay is great. You got some post-game content there, and solid outing there for $30. Hopefully, you know, Grand Blue is here to stay for styles of games like this, because I think a follow-up title, you know, refines some of the elements, it could do very, very well, and now you got that foundation in place. I think a follow-up game can do really well. Final Fantasy 16 is $32.49, so, you know, nice little discount on that. At this point, that game is 2 years old, almost 2 years old. I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 16. I've actually been kind of itching to do another playthrough of it here soon. I mean, I already beat the game twice. I beat it on PS5, beat it on PC, but I want to play it again. Like, I really like Final Fantasy 16, and in terms of sheer spectacle, Final Fantasy 16 is one of the most phenomenal games you can come across in terms of just scale, boss fights, cinematics. It's a brilliant game at that level in terms of the scale and sheer spectacle of it, but yeah, $32.49 on that. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, $19.79. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, finally getting cheaper at $15. I wonder why. Probably because there's a sequel that's about to come out, but yeah, $15 on that. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5, 2.5 Remix is $20. Dying Light the Following Enhanced Edition is $9. Not a bad deal there for Dying Light. Nier Automata Game of the Yorha Edition is $16. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2, 25% off for $22.49, so not a sizable discount on that, but again, that just came out back in December, so, you know, nice little discount on it nonetheless. Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered, 20% off only. That came out in September. I feel like that it should be, you know, 30-40% off by now, but yeah, 20% off on that. Far Cry 6 is on sale. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, $4 on that is always going to be a killer deal if you just want to get into Jedi but don't want to spend the money on Jedi Survivor. $3.99 for Fallen Order is awesome. You got Sniper Elite 5 for $15, House Flipper 2 for $30, Hunt Showdown $18.96 for 50% off for $15. Resident Evil 5, $4.99 on that. I still think RE5 is a worthwhile pickup and playthrough. I don't think we're going to get that remake for a couple of years at least, so you know, still a good shot to pick that up. Callisto Protocol is $17.49, way too expensive. Most of you guys probably have it through PlayStation Plus, but I would say Callisto Protocol would be a decent pickup at like the $9.99 range if you don't have it through Plus. Persona 3 Reload Digital Deluxe, $39.99. You don't get the actual DLC with the Deluxe Edition, which is whack, but yeah, $39.99 on that. Reload's an awesome game, but that price point's still a little too hefty. Resident Evil 6 is $4.99. Slime Rancher 2, $19.79. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster is $9.99. I talk up FF10 all the time, and I'm one of the... I'm not defenders of FF10-2. I just think it's not as bad as people say it is. I think it's a totally serviceable game. I get that, you know, maybe people don't want to play as Yuna. Maybe the story isn't as intense as FF10. I don't know, but I still thought 10-2 was an alright game. And $9.99 for just Final Fantasy X is worth it, and you get 10-2 on top of that. No-brainer. That's an excellent deal. For sure. Battlefield 5 Definitive Edition is $7.49. Naruto Storm 4 is $9.99. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, $6 on that is great. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is $15. Great deal on that. What else we got? Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Gold Edition is $19.99. Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive Experience, excuse me, $12 on that. Sonic Frontiers Digital Deluxe Edition, $24.49. They, for a while, were trying to get a little schemy with that Sonic Frontiers price point. Thankfully, it's gone back down. 24 and change. The Digital Deluxe ain't anything to really write home about. I would wait for the base game to be like $18 and pick it up then, but you can do whatever you want to do. Assassin's Creed titles, a bunch of those are on sale. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, $15 on that. Assassin's Creed 4 is $8.99. You know, that is getting remade, so keep that in mind. Naruto X Boruto Deluxe Edition, $49. That's insanity. Imagine paying $49 for that game. Yo, Bandai Namco, do something. Do something with your boy Naruto here. This game should not be $49. What are we doing here? But, yeah, that's insane. Little Nightmares is $4.99. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Legendary Edition is 70% off for $36. Obviously, we have the Daima DLC on the way, and I would imagine that they're gonna make some super special Ultimate Edition that'll include all the DLC that's out and the Daima DLC. I imagine they'll do that, but who knows? The Daima DLC is gonna be $35 and it's 2 parts, so it's covering, I would imagine, all of Daima. So I don't think that price point is all too crazy. But yeah, you probably should wait a little while before you pick up DBZ Kakarot at this point. And $36 is still kind of pricey, man. I mean, at some point, maybe like 2 years from now, you'll get like the Ultimate Edition with the Daima DLC and all the existing DLC for like $20. And at that point, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, this deal's insane. But right now, this deal is just okay. And I love DBZ Kakarot. I think it's a great game, but yeah, $36 is a little bit too much. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, $7.49 on that. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is $4.99. Yakuza Like a Dragon, $9.99 on that is great. Definitely recommend that. Assassin's Creed Mirage Deluxe Edition is $24. Nier Replicant, $24 on that. Like a Dragon Ishin, $15 on that's pretty good. I know Ishin isn't like the best received game from RGG, but you know, for $15, that's not a bad buy. Oh my god, Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, $39. That game has scarred me, and I just pray to the high heavens that the Bleach game doesn't turn out as an atrocity as that JJK game. That JJK game is legitimately one of the worst video games I've ever played, and I will say that every single time it's on sale. And why is it $39? What is going on here? How is this still $39? Bandai Namco, I get it that there's hardcore fans of these animes, but y'all gotta stop fleecing. $49 for Naruto X Boruto, $39 for Jujutsu Kaisen. The Jujutsu Kaisen price point is even more insulting because at least Naruto Storm has the fundamental good Naruto Storm gameplay. JJK is one of the biggest piles of crap that I've ever played in my life. Legitimately so bad, and I don't even care for JJK like that. And I was insulted playing this game, but yeah. And there's an Ultimate Edition for $65. You know that there's at least one poor soul that's gonna sit down and they're gonna be like, oh my god, JJK has a video game, let me buy the Ultimate Edition for $65. Just comprehend that there's a human being out there that during the sale is gonna spend $65 on one of the worst games of all time, one of the biggest piles of trash in JJK Curse Clash. But yeah, my rant's over. Man, every time I just see that cover art, I just get infuriated, but nevertheless. Slime Rancher 1 is $4.99. Final Fantasy IX Digital Edition is $8.39. Resident Evil is $4.99. Just Cause 4 Reloaded is $5.99. You got Assassin's Creed Syndicate for $9. Final Fantasy VII OG $6.39. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice for $9. You know, Hellblade 2 is supposed to be coming out on PlayStation 5. I would imagine in the relative near future, but it's probably gonna be $50. It ain't nobody trying to buy that game for $50. Let's be real here. That game is gonna bomb if it comes out at $50. You kidding me? 1 year delayed release at $50? Ain't nobody finna buy that. But I liked Hellblade 1 as well a lot. But I'm just talking about it, you know, being realistic. I don't think a lot of people are finna be buying that Indiana Jones game either at $70. But most of you guys will wait on a discount and it'll be fine. At least it's coming to PlayStation. Another Crab's Treasure, 40% off for $18, I think, is really good for that charming game and Souls-like game with a crab. I mean, it's hilarious. Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, $11.99 on that. Okami Kinitsugami bundle is $45, and then Kinitsugami standalone is $39.99. We got Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, $14. You know, I wish Final Fantasy 15 was more fleshed out, but it is what it is. There's still fun to be had with FF15 for sure. Star Ocean, the second story R, $30 on that, 40% off. All right, nice little discount on that. That game's been holding up in price, so not an awful deal there. Middle Earth Shadow of War, $6 on that. AC Unity is $9. I gotta go back and give AC Unity another playthrough. When I played it, it was available on PC as like this atrocious PC version. It was atrocious on like every platform when it came out, but everybody seems to like go back and really end up enjoying Unity, so I gotta do the same and go back and give it another whirl. East 10 Nordics, unfortunately, the base game is not on sale. The Digital Deluxe and Digital Ultimate Edition are on sale, and I just would not be paying that, especially now that we know the Proud Nordics is gonna be coming out in an enhanced version of the game. Sea of Stars, $24.49, a little bit of an extra discount if you are a Plus subscriber. Streets of Rage 4 is $9.99. That's a great price, a great beat 'em up, and definitely worthwhile there. Code Vein for $8.99 is awesome. Darkest Dungeon, $3.74 on that is really good. Killing Floor 2, $5.99. Killing Floor 3 just got delayed, so that might be a decent pickup. What else we got? Warhammer 40k Bulk Cut. $11 for that is really good. That game is really, really well received as like a fast-paced shooter. That's definitely a pretty decent pickup there. AEW Fight Forever is 50% off for $19.99. That was a Plus game, and really, like, I like the arcadey wrestling gameplay that Fight Forever had, but it should be like $5 because from a content standpoint, it's trash, and the amount of DLC that they're doing for this game, like, come on, man, what are we doing here? Live Alive is 60% off for $19.99. Great JRPG, super, super underrated, great art style, and how the story weaves together and comes together, I think is really, really well done across these different eras and whatnot. I had a great time with it for $20. I think that's a pretty good pickup. Onimusha Warlords is $9.99. Infamous Second Son is $9.99. Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven, 30% off for $35. One of those JRPGs that just came out to very, very little fanfare last year, and this is a game that those that play it really do enjoy it. Now, it doesn't have that focus on like a linear narrative out of a JRPG that I think a lot of people do want. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I want to go back and give it more playtime, but a lot of people ended up really enjoying it. $35 might be a decent pickup for you. Dead Island Definitive Edition, $3. Alien Isolation, the collection is $9.99. Persona 5 Tactica, $24. Another game that's like completely forgotten about, but yeah, P5 Tactica. Bloodborne Complete, $17.49. What else we got? Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is $5.09. Visions of Mana, $39. I mean, it's not the biggest budget JRPG in the world, but I had fun with that game. I think it's pretty decent. Story's super predictable, but, you know, overall, had a good time with that. Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, $15.19 on that. Tactics Ogre Reborn is $25. Okami HD is $9.99. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is $30, which a lot of content for your dollar. I love Battle Network, so obviously I'm gonna talk that up. Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line is $25. You know, music rhythm fun there. Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is $7.99. SOTR is great, definitely recommended. Octopath Traveler 2, $30 on that. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania bundle is $15.74. Dead Rising 2, $4.99. Catherine Full Body is $7.99. That's an excellent, excellent deal. What else we got? Dishonored Definitive, $4.99. Order 1886, baby, $9.99. You know a video can't be complete without me gushing about Order 1886. Look, I get the game had its shortcomings, but man, from a technical standpoint, that game still looks incredible a decade later. It's kind of remarkable in that regard. Ender Lily's Quietus of the Night is 60% off for $9.99. You know, we talked about Ender Magnolia a second ago. That seeing a little bit less of a steep discount, but still a good pickup there. 13 Sentinels is $14.99. That's the price point I called for in yesterday's video. That's an excellent pickup. If you don't have 13 Sentinels, please remedy that ASAP. That game is tremendous, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of the more underrated games of the last decade. Why is Naruto Storm Legacy $35? That was $14 before. What are we doing here? I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but some of these price points are just outrageous. And Bandai Namco with their anime games, oh my goodness, like, come on now. I get it, yo, there's Naruto fans, JJK fans, but can we stop fleecing them for everything they're worth with these price points? Star Ocean: The Divine Force is $24. You know, that game was fine. It wasn't blowaway, but I thought it was okay. Ease 8, $19.99. Ease 9, $29.99. Fist of the North Star: Lost Paradise is $4.99. Underrated game there. Forgotten RGG game. Scarlet Nexus Ultimate Edition, $19.99. Speaking of underrated games, that game is criminally underrated. You know, fantastic game. 2 playable main characters with 2 playable story routes. Worthwhile to go through both of them, and that'll end up being, you know, 40-50 hours of gameplay. Ultimate Edition has some bonus content in there as well. $20 might be a little bit pricey, but I think that's still a good pickup. Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Bundle is $9.99. Valkyrie Elysium is $29.99 for the Digital Deluxe Edition. Now, that also includes Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, so you get 2 games there. And you'll get Valkyrie Elysium, the base game, which I thought it was an okay action game, not blowaway, but I thought there was some fun to be had there. For that price point, I actually don't think it's all too bad, given you get Lenneth as well. Sakura Wars is $8.99. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration is $6. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy $9.89. Not a bad deal there. And Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, $9.89. AC Rogue is $8.99. A lot of good deals available. That is page 16 of 109, but I will end it there. Yeah, you know, this is a pretty solid sale with a lot of notable deals that are available. You know, some of you guys may, as always, own everything, which I find that a little hard to believe, but if you've been buying a lot of games, I mean, you own the majority of games that you want, so it is what it is. But we'll be covering this sale in depth. Stay tuned for all of that, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.